UFC London just went down. This is the full card recap. We did have, a few questionable decisions. The judges were heavily involved. The card was okay overall, but let's get into the recap. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. And without further ado, let's get into it. Starting off the card, we had Kawe Fernandez taking on Guram Kutateladze. I'm kind of kicking myself. Originally, I did pick Kawe, but before I started recording, the fight predictions, I ended up switching to Guram, and he went out there and got his ass whipped for 3 full rounds. First round, got dropped by a head kick. His leg was getting chewed apart. Kawe just kept him at range. Was picking him apart. Round 2, same story. He didn't really look to engage in any type of fight. He didn't throw much. Honestly, he just looked like a punching bag the entire fight. He was almost finished like twice. I don't know what Guram had going on. He was cornered by Ilya and Hamzat. I don't know what advice they were giving him, but obviously it didn't work. That wasn't the Guram, I grew to knew or know. I honestly was, I think off of that, performance, you could cut him. If that's how you're going to be fighting, I'm not interested in seeing him again. He got absolutely worked for 3 full rounds. I gave it a 30-26, but I guess not. We'll see. Someone else got 30-26 on the night. We'll see how you guys felt about that. But yeah, definitely disgusting performance from Guram. I should have, stayed with my original pick before I decided to record, but absolute punching bag. Kawe Fernandez with a beautiful W. Moving on, we had Colin Loughran taking on Nathan Fletcher in the rematch. It was, I forgot to mention in the breakdown that Paddy Pimblett actually cornered Nathan Fletcher in their first fight. He didn't corner Nathan this time. He was, close to the octagon. But it was, it was an interesting fact to note. Fight starts. Fletcher was doing pretty good, trading a lot of shots. He's chewing Colin's leg up. Loughran landed a takedown and then ended up getting reversed. Fletcher was looking for a lot of submissions for, majority of the fight. Loughran was doing pretty good on the feet as well. He stands pretty straight up like the, normal Irish boxer. Round 2, Nate was back on the heavy pressure, landed a lot of good shots, gets the takedown, got the back, was doing some work on the ground. Almost, he threw up a few submissions that he almost finished. Landed a beautiful spinning elbow. End of the 3rd round, they were trading a lot of shots. He landed a beautiful spinning elbow that I want to say it cut Colin's eye. But yeah, it was a very close fight. Colin had a lot of success. On the ground, he landed some shots, some ground and pound. I feel like on the feet they were pretty even. It was a very close fight. Ended up going to Colin Loughran, split decision. I'm not really mad at it. It was a very close fight. I felt like, I don't know, I like the damage that Fletcher did more, but this is why you don't, leave it in the hands of the judges. I think either way you give it, it was whoever the judges decided, it wasn't, I don't know, I didn't really care. Get a finish, honestly. That's what it boils down to. Get a finish, and we won't have to deal with, fights like this. But good W for Colin. Fletcher, just get back to the drawing board. I'm sure they'll give him another fight. It wasn't a one and done anyway. But yeah, good W. Moving on to the ladies in the strawweight division, we have Pooja Tomar taking on Shauna Bannon. I mean, this fight went pretty much like I expected. Shauna was throwing a lot of, her side kicks, utilizing her range that she had. Pooja ended up landing a beautiful head kick, cracks Shauna, drops her, and then she jumps into the guard. Now, I've said it on a previous episode, when you drop someone, don't jump into their guard. You have the opportunity to finish the fight, let them get back to their feet, and you've already had success on the feet, so just go back to that. But she ends up jumping the guard and gets submitted via armbar. Now, this was Shauna Bannon's first submission, too, so just a hell of a way to get it. But she was definitely out of it. Pooja, just low-level, IQ, fight IQ, decided to jump into the guard, ended up getting submitted. It looks like she won't be, the sole Indian UFC fighter on the roster. Every one of them got a L, and she could just join the list with them. Terrible decision for her to do that, but it is what it is. Live and you learn, I guess. Moving on to the middleweights, we had Christian Leroy Duncan taking on Andre Pulyaev. CLD looked good. He had, heavy clinch work early, pressured him a lot, mixing up the shots, threw some shoulder shots. That was cool to see again. A lot of knees, threw like a double flying knee at one point in the fight. His takedown defense definitely improved, did not get taken down throughout the fight. He had a lot of success in the second round with his right hand. Pulyaev was backing up the entire fight, was getting worked. End of the fight, CLD almost finishes him. He landed some beautiful elbows in close, wobbled him bad, had him backing up across the entire octagon. It was a very good performance for CLD. I thought he was going to get the finish, but he ended up just putting on a very good performance to get back in the W column, and pick was on point on this one. Good job, CLD. Moving on to the heavyweights, we had Marcin Tybura taking on Mick Parkin. I'll be honest, I picked Marcin Tybura. I did not think he won this fight. Clear robbery. I don't know how the judges all decided to give it to Tybura. He got out-grappled. He got outstruck. He was getting worked the entire fight, honestly. The first round was the only round that I gave to Marcin Tybura. Round 2, Parkin had him down for majority of the fight, landed some nice ground and pound. He was in full mount at a point in time. Third round, Parkin was outstriking him, outlanding him. Did not get taken down at the end of the round. That Tybura shot for a takedown, was not able to get it. I definitely thought Marcin Tybura lost the fight, but they ended up all deciding that he won. It was a very close fight, I'll be honest. I thought it would be a split, if anything, but I definitely thought Mick Parkin won the fight for sure. Was not confident at all at the end of the fight that Marcin Tybura was going to get a unanimous decision, and he did. I'll take it. It's a W, but definitely did not expect him to get his hand raised, and I don't think he did either. But he turns back another prospect, and we'll see what they give him next. He's on, 2-fight win streak against guys that were supposed to win, definitely. Deniz had him hurt bad, ended up, reversing position, finished him, and then Parkin was, I know a lot of people were riding high on Parkin, but he ended up losing. So we'll see what they give Tybura. Pretty sure it'll be someone that can get the job done, which I've told you guys at the beginning of the video. If you guys don't leave it to the judges, we won't have to deal with stuff like this. But Marcin Tybura, unanimous decision. Pick was right, but the judges were wrong, I gotta be honest. Moving on to the flyweights, we had his name's not Loner, it's Looney, or Loney, forgot how they pronounce it. Loney Calvinon taking on Felipe Dos Santos. Fight was very frantic to start. Dos Santos was doing, a lot of damage early, split him open with a big elbow. He was doing damage off of his back after he got taken down. A lot of, clinch striking, late takedown from, Santos got reversed at the end of the round. Kavanaugh was having some success on the feet, having some success, doing the ground and pound. I feel like Felipe definitely decided to challenge his grappling in this fight. And we've seen Kavanaugh was able, to overcome that. A lot of people had questions about if he was, not talented enough to, have success grappling Felipe Dos Santos. But at this level, UFC, there's a lot of different stylistic matchups that he's going to have to, come across, especially in the flyweight division. And he passed this test, not without, some caution. He did get split up really bad, was leaking the entire fight. It was a very gritty back and forth type of fight, but he ended up coming out the winner, and rightfully so. Definitely interested to see what they give him next. I think he's going to have, a little bit of a tough time for guys that like to, put on a pace and keep the output very high. So we're going to have to see, what adjustments he makes after this fight. But good W for Kavanaugh. He did what he needed to do. Ended up getting his hand raised. Moving on, we had Jai Herbert taking on the lock of the week, Chris Taco Padilla. I think Taco won, the first 2 rounds. It was a very, very tight fight. Not a lot of, you know, major moments for either fighter up until the third round. Chris was on the pressure, put him up against the cage. He wasn't able to land any takedowns, but he did do some work in the clinch. Put him up against the cage, do some little bit of damage there. He was very good defensively. Didn't give up any clean shots to Jai. Up until the third round, they were both. It was a tick for tack type of fight. I didn't necessarily after the first 2 rounds. I didn't necessarily score it for Padilla or for Jai either way. I was mainly just watching the fight, seeing who had the advantage, and honestly, it was just very even. Into the third round, Jai ends up splitting Taco open with an elbow. Busted his eye up. He was leaking pretty good, but good, fight IQ from Taco. He ends up coming back with a big right hand, wobbles Jai Herbert, threw it like 3 or 4 times, was catching him. Definitely looked good to the judges at the end of the fight. Had Jai Herbert hurt more than, what he was taking himself. It was a very close fight. Split decision, goes to Taco. Very happy. That was the lock of the week, and he comes through for me, and I'm happy with it. I would have liked to see him, secure a takedown, but Jai Herbert, he's still pretty crafty for his age, and he was able to, survive and put a pretty good showing for himself. So we'll see what they give, each of these gentlemen coming up next. But it was a very close fight, but Chris Padilla comes through. Moving on to the main card, guys. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And let's get started. Main card, we got Nathaniel Wood taking on Morgan Charrier. This was another close fight. Nathaniel Wood came out just like I thought he was. Very smart, very methodical in the striking. Landed a huge overhand right counter that drops Morgan. He ends up surviving, but I really thought he was out. He hit the canvas like a bag of rocks. I thought he knocked him out clean, but he ended up surviving. They were in each other's guard for a while. Survived the first round. I thought Nathaniel Woods, head movement definitely gave him the advantage in this fight. He didn't get hit with anything clean up until like the second round. End of the second round, he got caught with like a big elbow, wobbled him, but didn't really hurt him. But the defensive grappling was pretty good for both of these gentlemen. Nathaniel Wood's jab, that's probably one of the best jabs I've seen in a while. He did not miss. I don't think he missed a jab the entire fight. He's throwing a lot of teeps up the middle that were landing. He just looked, honestly, he looked quicker than Morgan on the feet as well. Very good fight from Nathaniel Wood. I didn't think he would have that much success striking. I thought he would utilize the grappling a little bit more, but he held his own on the feet. He kept moving his head, did not get hit by anything huge other than the elbow, and he put on a very good performance. 30-27, very clear unanimous decision in my opinion as well, and he gets it done on the scorecards. Next up, we had Chris Duncan taking on Jordan Vucinic. Very, very close. Well, not close, but very evenly matched fight. It started just as I thought it would. They would meet in the center, and whoever lands first is going to, succeed. And it was Chris Duncan. Lands a body kick, throws a jab, drops Vucinic, jumps on his neck, tries to get the guillotine, but he ends up surviving. He was smothering him from, the beginning of the fight. Very heavy grappling pressure to finish the round. They threw a couple strikes. Round 2, Duncan, he's on the pressure again, lands a takedown. Vooch reverses the position momentarily. They get back to their feet. Duncan secures another takedown, jumps on the neck, and he gets the submission. Round 2, guillotine. Very good performance from Chris Duncan. He ended up calling out Terrence McKinney, who I think is an excellent call out. I really like Terrence McKinney. he just bounced back into the W column as well. So I hope they, get to shake it up. I do want to see that fight. And it was a very good performance from Chris Duncan. I thought Jordan Vucinic would have, a lot more success on the feet. But, the wrestling pressure was just too much for him. Ended up getting submitted. Very good performance from Chris Duncan. Moving on, we back to the strawweight division for the ladies again. And we have Alexia Thainara taking on Molly Meatball McCann. Before the fight even started, this was one of the top 5 longest walkouts ever. Alexia was taking her time. She even walked back to the tunnel for a second. But, yeah, definitely a super long walkout. The round starts. Alexia looks super raw in the striking. Everything is very wide, very frantic as well. Didn't look like she had, a little bit of composure, I would say, compared to Molly. Molly, she's just typical boxing stance, throws a couple shots. I thought Alexia looked diesel for 115. She definitely didn't look like she was under 125. She looked like she could have been a bantamweight. But yeah, she looked very strong. Landed early takedown. Both the ladies exchanged some elbows. Alexia's on top doing a little bit of damage. And Molly she ends up looking for an armbar, gets reversed. Alexia mounted her, and then she gets the neck. Molly survives the first attempt, then she gets it again, and that's all she wrote. Gets a submission, rear naked choke, with like 30 seconds to go in the first round. Molly ended up, retiring. I think it was the right decision. She not necessarily, puts on like a good performance, but, she does what she can. I think it was a good decision on her behalf. Before she was fighting, she was making meatball sandwiches, so maybe she could do that again. That's how she got her nickname. But in all respects, she did say she will be coaching, so hopefully she can, develop another, where is she from? London or Liverpool fighter, female fighter, and we'll see Molly, on the opposite side of the octagon. But salute to Alexia, salute to Molly. Yeah, good, performance from Alexia, and we'll see Molly on the other side. On to the featured bout of the evening, we had Kevin Holland taking on Gunnar Nelson. Kevin looked good, I gotta say. 170, Kevin Holland is definitely where he needs to be. He gave Gunnar Nelson a lot of difficulty with the range. You had the 9-inch reach advantage. Early on, Kevin was, had some success with the jab. Kept him at bay, defended a takedown, and he ended up getting taken down, though. But Holland was doing some damage off of his back. Even the commentary team said it. I was thinking about it, too. His knockout on Jacare Souza when he knocked him out off of his back looked kind of similar. He's throwing up a lot of submissions, arm bars. He ended up, he was looking for a Kimura, and Gunnar picked him up while he was locked into the Kimura. It was pretty cool. Puts him down, he gets the guard, and then they get back to their feet. It's about 10 seconds left in the first round. Kevin rocks him with a 1-2. Thought it was over. He landed a shot as the buzzer went off, and I think if Kevin had maybe like 5 more seconds, he definitely would have got the first round finish. But Gunnar ends up surviving. He went back to his corner. He was like, man, I thought the round was over. Nope, it's not over until you hear that bell, fella. Almost got finished. On 2 starts, Gunnar, secures another takedown. He ends up just, securing a lot of control time. Didn't really do much in this position. I had him down for majority of the round. Third round comes out. Kevin defends a lot of the takedowns, has some success on the feet, and he wins the fight. I think Kevin Holland needs to stay at 170. He won a unanimous decision. Definitely almost, he came close to finishing the fight in the first round. So salute to Gunnar for surviving. I wasn't super confident in picking Gunnar Nelson. I mainly picked him because I wasn't sure where Kevin Holland was, but I'm glad to see that, he's somewhat focused again. He did say if he can get another fight at 70, fight in July. If he can fight with a striker at 85, he said he'll fight next week. Those aren't the type of things I really want to hear, but I understand where he's coming from. And this guy just likes to fight. But I learned my lesson. If he's fighting a grappler at 85, stay away. That was the issue, he had with Rainer de Ritter. He said he was like 30, 40 pounds heavier than him. So he needs to stay at 70 where not that he'll have like a major advantage. Well, he will with the reach, but size-wise, he'll be able to deal with these guys a lot better. So hopefully he stays at 70, refocuses himself. Even at his media day, he was threatening to fight one of the reporters. But yeah, he looked good. Kevin Holland looked good. I wish I would have picked him as an underdog, but again, this guy's too wishy-washy sometimes. I really like him, but it's hard to pick him sometimes. But yeah, he gets the job done against Gunnar Nelson. Hopefully we see him at 170 from now on. Moving on to the co-main event, we had Carlos Ulberg taking on Jan Blachowicz. This was honestly just a kickboxing fight. Round one was very close. Honestly, all the rounds were very close. I tried to score it live. I couldn't tell you who won any round. It was just kickboxing, like I said. Both of them landed some really good leg kicks. The jabs were okay for both of them. Nobody landed anything clean, honestly. Jan controlled the center of the octagon for a majority of the fight. After two, like I just said, I was trying to score it live, but it was honestly a coin flip. I couldn't tell you who won any exchanges, who won, position, really. I think Jan took the first round, maybe, but like I said, there was nothing of significance that gave either guy any round. Second round, Oberg came out, he shot a takedown, got stuffed. Third round, it was just more of the same kickboxing, At the end of the fight, they started trading a little bit, but nobody really got clipped. Jan got caught with a jab, popped his head back a little bit, but he came back with his own counter. It was just a very, very close fight. It was clear that the UFC wanted Ulberg to win. For Jan, when you're in this type of position, not necessarily focusing on the refs, but for the business, you have to, prove that you are back, that you want another title shot. You have to either get a finish or 30-26, that type of performance on somebody. I don't think either gentleman did enough to warrant a title shot. I feel like Oberg looked a lot better in his fight against Volkan Oezdemir than he did against Jan. And for Jan to be coming off of 2 shoulder surgeries, he looked like he's still in it. I think you give Jan the loser of the Roundtree Jamal Hill fight, and I think you give Ulberg the winner, honestly. I know they're going to do the Alex Magomed rematch. I don't think Ulberg deserves the winner of that fight. I think you can either do Ulberg, you do Ulberg versus Yuri. And you make either one of them, really earn it. Especially if Yuri wins or if Alex wins, you do that. You do the Yuri Ulberg fight. Yuri needs a finish if he's going to get back to the title shot for the, the third time, fourth time. But yeah, I don't think Ulberg deserves a title shot. I think you give him either Yuri or the winner of the Jamal Khalil fight, and then Jan gets the loser. Or you could do Jan versus Yuri. There's a lot of matchups that you could do at 205 right now. But I don't think Ulberg deserved a title shot. They want to give it to him, but in my opinion, that didn't warrant a title shot. But yeah, good win. I don't know about unanimous decision. I thought it was split. I kind of edged Jan in 1 and 3. But I don't know. I have to rewatch it. Trying to, record as soon as the fights are over is kind of, I'll have to rewatch it again to really score it. But I don't think it was a unanimous decision. I can definitely tell you that. I felt like Jan was definitely in the fight. And, yeah, I don't know how you score that fight. Who lands, the more impressive leg kick? They were both trading shots, honestly. 1 for 1. Nobody landed anything of significance. But unanimous decision, Carlos Ulberg. If they give him a title shot, I think I think Ankalaev washes him, honestly, and I think Alex might start him. So we'll see. And in the main event, we had Sean Brady taking on Leon Rocky Edwards. The real Rocky is back. Sean Brady. Round one, they exchange some strikes. Sean lands a leg takedown. Does a little bit. He secures position really. Landed a few shots, but it was late in the round. Excuse me. Round two, Sean gets a takedown very early. Back controls for the entire round. Landed some shots. Put him in a body triangle, sucking the juice out of him. Pause. Taking his energy away. That's what I meant by that. That was crazy. But yeah, Sean, Sean was a far superior grappler than Kamaru Usman and Bilal. So this is definitely a difficult task for Leon. Sean was looking for submissions every chance that he got. He had 4 minutes of control time in the second round. And then he landed, the third round came, he landed the takedown, smothered him, and gets the hold of that neck. And that was all she wrote. He gets the rear naked choke finish. I was kind of surprised to see Leon tap, but I knew he definitely had, a hell of a fight on his hands. Sean Brady, is no joke. He definitely came to fight, came to finish, and that is how you stamp a title shot. Compared to, Carlos. But that is definitely how you stamp your title shot. You finish the former champion. You finish the number one contender. That's what you need to do. Go out there and prove to everyone why you deserve the title shot. Saying all that, I don't think they give him, the title shot before Shavkat. Shavkat definitely deserves it. He had the short notice fight with Ian. Didn't look too good to people, but he still won short notice. He had the really good performance against Jeff Neal. He finished Wonder Boy. I'm forgetting the fight before the Ian Gary fight. It might have been the Wonder Boy fight, but yeah, Shavkat deserves it. Bilal wants Shavkat, and they were already scheduled for it. They just need to after the JDM fight. I think Bilal's going to win, but after the JDM fight, we booked that probably for like October, September, depending on, I forgot what his injury was, but I think he'll be ready come October, and they'll probably book it in Abu Dhabi. I can see that being like the co-main event. Hopefully we get the Islam Ilya fight on that card, but yeah, I think Shavkat gets it first, and Sean Brady will probably, weigh in as a backup fighter, but he definitely deserves a title shot, especially with a performance like that. I don't think Leon has been finished. I think all his losses are decisions. He might, I have to check, but very impressive from Sean Brady. Was super confident picking him before the weigh-ins and everything, and he came through and delivered. Leon Edwards, what do you do with Leon Edwards? That's very interesting. I think he's out of the title picture. If he gets a win, he's definitely out. You could probably do Leon versus Buckley. You could probably do Leon versus the winner of the Prates Jeff Neal fight. You could do Leon versus Ian. There's a lot of fights for Leon, but he's definitely got to climb again to get another title shot. I don't see it coming within 2 wins. So if he's gonna, he's not old, but he's got, time is working against him. So if he wants to, reclaim Rocky and the championship again, he's got some work to do. And there's some young, hungry contenders that are, standing in his way. So tough loss for Leon, but very impressive win from Sean Brady, and I can't wait to see him versus, whoever has the belt, mix it up. But yeah, very impressed with Sean Brady. Going over the picks, I did pretty good. Bounce back week from last week where I could barely scrap together, any W's. But 8-5, the 5 losses were Kevin Holland, Jordan Vucinic, Nathan Fletcher, Puja Tomar, and Guram Kutateledze. Definitely should have stuck with my original lean of Kawe against Guram. I said it in the prediction video that his speed and he could definitely hurt Guram. Ended up doing just that, but you live and you learn. Next week we got Brandon Moreno and Steve Erceg, so I'll be doing some research on that. The lock of the week and Taco Cash for us, so I'm happy with that. Trying to get the ball back rolling, start a new streak. And if you guys enjoyed this recap of UFC London, drop some W's in the chat. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you guys on the full card predictions for Moreno versus Erceg. And I'll see you guys next time.